Hello again, I am Blunty, and if you've somehow missed the hype train, this is Dauntless, a game that I've been playing for about a year in its beta form, but has just last week gone into full release across multi-platforms, and it comes with cross-play, cross-buy, cross-progress, cross-save, cross-everything, basically. You can play it on PC, on Xbox, on PlayStation. It's coming to Switch sometime in the not too distant future as well, and on all platforms you can move between them seamlessly. You don't have to sync anything, you just pick whatever platform you want to play on. People from all different platforms can play together seamlessly, and I mean absolutely seamlessly. This is the best implementation of cross-platform play I've ever seen in my life. It is so well executed, it's beautiful. And gameplay-wise, it's kind of Dark Souls style combat in that every fight is a boss fight. You have to know the fight to get good at the fight. There's lots of dodge rolling involved and very, a skill tree that involves setting out particular pieces of armor and weaponry and buffs and debuffs and passives and actives and a whole big chain down there. And it's a Monster Hunter style thing in that it's 1 to 4 players up against a big monster. And also describe it something like Pokemon as well, in that it's designed to be played at a surface level if you just want some arcadey fun time, happy time fun, or you can go deep nerd and get really involved in the math of things and really sort of fine tune things and get into the meta of the game. I'm sort of halfway between. I don't want to go full on math nerd meta, but I have been coming to a point now in my gameplay where I'm starting to experiment with different specific builds to suit different playstyles, and I want to share one with you today that's all about boosting my repeaters, the dualies, the guns. There are 5 different weapons in the game if you don't like guns. There's swords and pikes and axes and hammers and the guns. And by the way, if you have any questions about this game, I will be streaming today on twitch.tv/BLUNTNATE. So feel free to come along, drop in, ask any question you like about the game. I'll do my best to answer it as fully and completely and usefully as I can. But in this video, I just wanted to go through the build I'm using. I don't know whether I'm going to do a bunch of these videos, Dauntless builds, best for this and best for that, and insane build and for swords and all that kind of crap that you see everywhere on YouTube once a game gets popular. But I have been having a ton of fun with the build I put together yesterday that I was using on stream. What's this guy want? What do you want? What do you want? Go away. I'm trying to do a thing. Stop getting into my shot. I've been having a ton of fun with this build because it takes the repeaters from going pew, 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 to going pew, 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 and just pouring damage. It turns you into a misery hose. You are no longer a man, or a woman in my character here. You are a conduit for pain to flow through into the monster. It is insanely fun. The difference it makes to Dooley's gameplay in this is wonderful, and I hope I would have showed you a brief comparison in the opening of the video. But before we go into some gameplay itself, let's run through the loadout. Now, I'm not an expert player. This isn't the best possible loadout. There's still some things I need to upgrade. Like there's a blue cell you can see in my Austrian repeaters up there. That blue one, that should be purple, but I don't have a purple one yet. Don't have a +3 for that yet. But there's work in progress still. But as it stands, it's incredibly fun. So let me get rid of my face so you can see things properly. So let's go through the perk summary first, and then we'll get into exactly where those perks come from. So we've got +7 Predator. You only really need +6, but it just so happens that the way things have worked out, I got +7 there. But yeah, +6 is where it maxes out at. So I deal 35% increased damage after not getting hit for 15 seconds. Now, once you get pretty decent at the game, that's not so hard to do. Not getting hit for 15 seconds is not difficult. And for most stuff, except for maybe Heroic and Heroic Plus especially, it's pretty easy to keep that up for most of the fight. We've got Etheric Frenzy, which gives you plus 12.5 lantern charge on every hit. That just helps you recharge your lantern better, and you'll see why that's important as I explain things if you're not familiar with how these things work in depth. +6 Molten, that's a very meta thing to run at the moment. All the high-end players are running +6 Molten because it drops little orbs. They give you fireproof, which is handy for a few monsters that spew lava and flame everywhere, but mostly we're using it to get the increased attack and movement speed, which is useful on all the weapons, but especially on the repeaters, and especially when you start stacking up with other attack speed stuff. We've got Rage Hunter, just for 40% damage versus Enraged Behemoths. Very, very handy to have, so when they go nutty, you can just pour on the damage even more aggressively. I got a little +3 agility there, just for a little decrease in dodge roll stamina. You don't need to dodge roll too much with the repeaters, but it's always nice to preserve stamina if you can, and we had room for it in this build. We've also got Invasive Fury, which is partnered up with agility there. So we have +12 attack speed for 8 seconds after dodging through an attack. So when you dodge roll, you're not burning as much stamina, but you also get another little boost to stack onto the speed. So let's go through top to bottom. Austrian repeaters. I kind of bounce between the repeaters and the sword mostly. Did a little bit of pike. Might do a little bit of pike more today as well on the stream. But mostly I've been using the repeaters. They're just super fun. I'm most effective in the repeaters. I stay out of trouble best with the repeaters. I pour on the damage most effectively, most consistently with the repeaters. I get hit less with the repeaters. They just tend to suit my instinctive game style, I think. The barrel, you just use whatever barrel is appropriate. I've still got a few of these to upgrade, actually. I need to get all these to +10, which is kind of the soft cap at the moment. So I've still got... I might do that today on stream, actually. We'll work towards getting all those to +10. But you just use whatever barrel is most effective for the monster you're fighting. It's easy. Full bore chamber, I love. Fires that piercing bolt in line. And it just does... It's just a huge amount of damage. And when you empower that shot as well. There's the captain's grip, which pretty much everyone with repeaters is using, as far as I can tell. It means you can launch a little buff that also gives you more attack speed for 15 seconds. And if you use it while empowered, everybody on the team gets increased attack speed, so that's always nice as well. You've got the lucky magazine there, a little 2% critical strike chance. It's not so important which one you pick here. You can just do whatever feels good to you. I might actually switch to that one. 20% increased move speed when it's 6 or less ammo. That might be a little nice to move about a bit quicker, to get in a position for that empowered shot a little bit quicker. We'll try that out today, perhaps on stream. I've got whatever prison you like, really, but I like the Searing Prison because it just deals 175 bonus damage in the 10th hit in sequence, and getting 10 hits in sequence when you've got the speed that this build gives you, that can sort of add up pretty quickly. We've got the Predator cell there. We went through the cells before, and that's where our agility cell sits as well. So that's a ton of fun there. So onto the armor and the lantern. We've got Hellplate for hat, shirt, and gloves. And over here, we've got a +3 Rage Hunter passive already on it. And we've got +3 Evasive Fury on there as well. And this all stacks up together. Over here, we've got the Predator cell to go with the passive on the other one. And +3 Molten. That's where one of our Molten ones sit. Over here, we've got the other +3 Molten as the inbuilt cell, basically. And that's where our Rage Hunter cell sits. And on the Stride of Thorns, we use that to give us our Lantern boost there. Plus, it also comes with +2 Predator as passive, which we can stack up with the other Predator we had. Where was that on the guns? And then, of course, Embermane's Rapture. I've gone back and forth a few of these lanterns. I was using Drask's Eye for a long time because it gives you increased damage for 6 seconds. But yesterday I switched over to Embermane's Rapture for increased speed for 8 seconds. And between these two, I think the attack speed gives us a better DPS overall, which is just when we pour on even more damage with the repeaters. If I was still using the sword, I'd probably switch back to that because the sword doesn't pour on the damage as consistently as the repeaters do. But the sword does more damage at once, so yeah. Just pick the lantern that suits, your best. But between those two for this build, it's probably the best plan of attack, I think. And that's where we also sit our Etheric Frenzy cell for our lantern charge. I was running +3 Medic on there for a while as well, just so I can res teammates a little bit better, but as more and more people work through the game and become less and less newbie over the past week, I've needed Medic less and less, so I'm not carrying Medic at the moment, but I might do another build that's sort of based around maybe part damage, and then put Medic on that, because if you're doing part damage, the fights are going to last longer because you're not doing as much flat damage. So it might be handy to have Medic on that and things. But yeah, we can talk about that in another video. Or we might experiment today on stream. Again, twitch.tv/BLUNTNATE. Come along the stream. We'll play around with some builds maybe and do some experiments and have some chats and answer some questions. But yeah, that's how this build sort of stacks out. And let's find a neutral patrol. And we'll go test this out in the game. So we'll wait for that hunt to come back and we'll do a little jump cut when we're ready. That's the wrong camera angle. I wanted to do this one. Hi. So as you can see there, my weapon and armor power are still just below 500. And 500 is kind of the soft cap at the moment because of the +10 sort of loadout across the board. And when you add all that up across armor and weapons, you will cap out at about 500 or so. So I'm not quite there yet. So again, I'm not super math nerd, expert guru player. I just, I have fun. I just build my builds to have the most fun. So, which I hope that most players are doing. If you're after sort of super expert, high-end, all the math matters kind of tips and guides and things like that, I'll link to you in the down below area. A guy named Odo, OHDOUGH, something like that. I'll put on screen as well. But anyway, he's blown up over the last week as people climb on this game and look for guides and, ask the most common question, what is the best weapon? What is the best sword? What is the best hammer? Yeah, he had the juice for that. He's coming up in searches a lot, and he makes very clear and easy to follow guides. So if you're after something sort of a little more hardcore, I would recommend his videos pretty strongly. We got 2 Xbox players. Funny thing, the most matchmaking I ever have is PlayStation players. A lot of I mean, it makes sense because there's a lot of PlayStations out there versus Xboxes, but it's the first time I've seen 2 Xbox players at the same time. Always pop flare when you see the monster, by the way. Too many newbies not doing that, or popping flare too soon. Only pop flare when you see the monster. So, give him a pop. Come back and we'll collect our buffs here. And we'll avoid the tail. We'll pop our lantern. Whoops-a-daisy. Start pouring the damage. We'll empower our shot. We'll throw down the buff. And now we're just a hose for pain. So you can see my lantern there, up in the corner, ticking up every time I land a shot. So that pops our lantern a little bit faster. I wonder if there's a loadout I can do to make the lantern just a little bit faster still. We need to empower our shot again. We're slowing down. Throw this. I'll go collect my... Oh, my orbs disappeared. Left them behind. There we go. What's some more? And now we're pouring on damage again. Alright, he's going to stop for a second. We'll do our empowered shot there. Whoop. For some reason, I lost my empowerment there. Took a little bit too long to use it. Alright, we'll get it back here. Zerp. Grab the buffs. Whoops. Pop the lantern again. And away we go. Go ahead and we'll stack that up. Missed with the empowered shot. They've actually just changed, in the patch today, they've just changed the sensitivity of the camera movement for controls, so I'm learning my aim all over again. And yes, I'm playing on PC and using a controller. I just prefer it. Plus, when it comes to the Switch, I want to be able to move seamlessly between PC and Switch when I want to do my couch play on Switch or my bedtime play on Switch. I don't want to have to relearn the controls. I want to be familiar with the controls instinctively. But if you are playing dualies or a couple of the other weapons, mouse might be better for you on PC. I know my aim would be better if I used a mouse, but again, for these third-person action games, I almost always prefer a controller, even on PC. Like even for Just Cause 3, for Tomb Raider, all these third-person action combat games. Let's throw this, we'll do our power shot, boom! Come here, load up the empowered again, drop back a little bit for my orbs, pop the lantern, and pour on the damage again. Stop it. By the way, if you're a good team player, don't steal other people's blaze orbs. Or molten orbs, I should say. I was in a few fights yesterday when people just kept stealing my orbs, so I couldn't get my speed up. I'm going to slow them down again. Actually, I'm going to let the speed drop out so I can show you again what the native speed of these dualies are and what a big difference we've just been doing. So I'll just wait for my empowerment to run off here. Oh, I accidentally kicked them up. Alright. I'll come back after an edit and show you. How about that? Even while just a little bit buffed on damage here, you can see just how slow these dualies are natively. Boom, boom, boom. Alright, so let's pick up our things here. Do this, pop that in. And then that. It's like 4 or 5 times the amount of DPS. Plus, when you are sped up like this, your reload is faster as well. Which makes a big difference if you want to dive in for an empowerment reload and dive out again. And that's why I have the dodge roll stamina thing. So I can just dodge in and out of those molten orbs, which always drop behind you rather annoyingly instead of in front of you. Wish they dropped in front. But yeah, with the little stamina dues, we can afford to do a little bit of dodge rolling to help collect those. Alright, we'll collect that, drop back, we'll drop our power thing there, we'll do the big shot, boo! And you always want to do that big shot end to end, by the way. It drills through the monster, so if you can go head to tail in most monsters, you'll do the most damage over time. If you just go shoot through the side or through the tail or something, you're not going to do as much force damage on that empowered piercing shot. Oops. And I love this game. It's the combat. Woohoo! The combat is so much fun. It's just so much fun to learn. Oh, I didn't empower that one. That was a mistake. Got a bit sloppy there. Got too excited. Got gushed about the game. Alright, pick those up. More power. Throw this. Chase him down. Do the big one. Whoop. See the big one. Dodge again. Ah. There we go. There's the tail. Come on, you can't have much more in you. And you're going to fall down. There he goes. Woohoo! And that is some super fun dually play. I gotta stop calling all these things by the nicknames I gave them. I've got all the monsters all have nicknames. This is Beaver Boy over here. When I talk in my dualies, they're not dualies, they're repeaters. I gotta start calling things by their proper name. So when I'm explaining stuff to people on stream and stuff, they know what I'm talking about. But I like the nicknames. Like we got a monster, the Valamir, big rhino beetle thing. He's just Party Rhino from now on in. I heard someone call him that. They've got Spooky Cat. Anyway, that's the dually gameplay I've kind of settled in on at the moment. It still needs a little bit of tweaking, I think. We've still got another cell to upgrade, and there might be a few things to go back and forth on. If you've got any ideas, feel free to, again, drop in on the stream. I know I'm pumping the stream hard today, but it's just a good opportunity to cross-promote a bit without it feeling too forced. Know what I mean? But yeah, if you haven't given Dauntless a try yet, it is free to play. There's no pay-to-win bullcrap in there. And you know, if you watch me regularly, you know I'm the first to jump on the hate train for microtransaction bullshit. But in this game, because the game is so well designed, because it's so fun, I will happily give them money for cosmetics and the hunt pass and all that kind of stuff. Happily give them money like once or twice a month because the game is so fun is the word. It's beautiful fun. I've been playing it so much. Like I streamed for 5 hours yesterday, and then off stream I played for another 2 or 3 hours, and then I did some stuff, and then when I went to bed I played for another hour and a half. It's just I can't stop playing at the moment. It's so it's addictive. It's compelling is a better word than addictive. I don't feel addicted to it. It's really compelling. I always want to just jump in for a little bit more. The progression system is really lovely, and it just always feels like you're making just a proper amount of progress, and it never feels like a boring grind. There's always something new to try, and new weapons and new upgrades and new armor and new combinations of, oh look, we got a hunt pass reward. Let's go collect that as we end the video. Why not? Well, I'm all hyped up and excited. What do we get? I think this is a good one, actually. Well, this is gold. Oh, there we go. There we go. We got a gold slayer core. Got more cores. Oh, maybe I'll get the core I need. Maybe I'll get the core I need. Let's find out. This is a loot box style thing, but you can never pay for them. So again, not pay to win. There's no pay to win. It's just a loot box style thing as you progress and earn them. Deconstruction, endurance, agility. No, don't really need any. Well, actually, the deconstruction style. I've got an idea for a deconstruction build. So the Shockjaw Nagaza stuff and things like that, so we can beat up their pylons. That might be fun. I think I need another one of those. Cool. Excellent. Anyway, I am Blunty. Thank you very much for watching. If you are enjoying Dauntless, do the thing in the down below area. Tell me what you're playing. What is your loadout? What is your favorite weapon so far? What's your most hated monster? What one do you hate fighting the most? Or one do you love fighting the most? I like the owlbirds. The owlbears as a nickname. Again, I don't use their real names. Just the owlbears. I like fighting the owlbears. And again, hope to see you on the stream. Twitch.tv/BLUNTNATE. Cross promotion. Hooray!